Dr. Zayas.
Now, I live far removed from not society as much, but from city life and bigger cities. And 14 miles the nearest town. That town has a gas station, a post office, and that's about it, other than some houses where people live and a few churches, but not much to it. There is a Dollar General there, so I guess they got something. But, I don't live in the circles where I'd have to worry about, the trans issue, other than being online and watching the news and all those kind of things. That's the only real interaction I have with the subject of the trans. I mean, I do have a family member, but he doesn't live anywhere near me, and, that is involved with that. To what extent, I do not know. I don't really care to know. So I don't really have to deal with the trans issue much, if at all, really, other than my online presence. But I do see what's going on with the trans community. Now, I will tell you that, back in the 90s and into the 2000s, I was, I guess gay people would call me homophobic. I was very much, not supportive of the gay community. In fact, when I was a preacher for a small time, I preached against it more in blogs and in writings, and you didn't go to church and preach against homosexuality, because that's just a waste, because, pretty much everybody agrees to disagree or agrees on that one. But over time, my attitudes towards gays changed. It didn't come because society was pressuring me to do it. It's just that I got to know more and more gay people and realized that they're not that much different than anybody else, and they want the same things, and they're just as diverse as the heterosexual community. Many of them are conservatives. There's even some gay Trump supporters and gay Biden supporters. There's gays that are, I know, the Pink Pistols, which is a gun rights group composed of gay people. So they're pro-gun, they're anti-gun, pro-abortion, anti-abortion. Just about every issue you go, gays are just right there with heterosexuals. They've pretty much integrated into our society. So, you really can't. They are somewhat of a demographic, but not that they don't all think the same. Although there are activists within their community that are trying to force the rest of the gay community to submit to their will, I might say. Some of the more outspoken, and especially when it comes to the trans community. And a lot of gay people are turning against trans people because of this as well. But what I'm talking about is, I watched some videos about, you're homophobic if you don't want to date a trans person. That is absolutely ridiculous. If you're heterosexual, then you probably are attracted and want to be with someone who's assigned female at birth, if you're a heterosexual male, a straight male. And if you are lean a little bit, I don't know. Straight men, really what I call heterosexual men, are not attracted to biological males. That's just, wait, did I say that wrong? They're not attracted to biological males. I said that right. I had to make sure. But, that doesn't make them homophobic. That makes them heterosexual. Okay? See, now, being heterosexual male, you are the enemy, even though you didn't want to be. Even though you don't have anything against gay people, you're the enemy just because you're not one of them. Or I don't know. It's very confusing. I mean, I would kiss most women, I mean, I don't, because I'm a married man. I would be intimate with a woman, not someone who has some surgery with the pocket down there that isn't really a vagina. I don't think I'd want to do that. That doesn't make me transphobic. But of course, according to the trans community, it does. They want to be treated like women in every aspect, regardless if they have a womb or not. Some guys are dating because they want to find the right mate to start a family with. You can't start a family with a trans woman. So are they women? Well, you don't have a right to choose that according to them. You can't choose what they are. They're going to tell you. And then you are required to validate them. Gay people never needed to be validated. Black people didn't need to be validated. They just wanted equal rights. They wanted equal protection under the law. They wanted the right to, live their life without being treated different. The trans community wants more. They don't want just the right to live as trans. They want the right to have you to validate them. Well, most people will validate them just not to be rude, not to stir up controversy. Like if I saw a trans person, I might refer to them as she, just because I don't want to get in a controversy. I just want to go about my day. It doesn't mean that I think they're a woman. It just means that I'm not being rude. Being civil. If they want to call me transphobic, they can. That's all. I don't care. Throw whatever label you want on me, but if you call me that, I can call you whatever gender I think you are. Not what you decide I'm going to call you then. Because freedom of speech works both ways. You don't have to say someone's a woman if you know they're not. See, I believe in biology. Biology, I love science. Biology says that there are two genders, male and female. I raise chickens. I breed rabbits. I got some eggs behind me hatching. They should hatch tomorrow, some Rhode Island red chickens. Now they're either going to be a rooster or a hen. The rooster can't decide, well, I don't want to be a rooster anymore. I'm going to be a hen and start laying eggs. That doesn't happen. That rooster will always be a rooster no matter what. My rabbits, I got bucks and does. A buck can't decide to be a doe. A doe can't decide to be a buck. But humans, they think that we can just change our mind. Today I'm a man. Tomorrow I'm a woman. And the day after that, I'm a locomotive train. I mean, what about trans species? Can I be a dolphin? Or a rhinoceros? Or an orangutan? Well, I am a trans orangutan. So I got that going for me. But can you change what you're born? Can you can be gay and be attracted to men and don't have to put on a dress. Or you can put on a dress. That's up to you. I was in the military. Okay? Now I didn't fight in any wars anytime. I mean, Desert Storm came up, but that one thing was over so fast. By the time I was ready to go over there, they were already coming back. So, I didn't actually fight in a war, but I was in the military and I believe for freedom of speech and freedom for the Constitution. And the First Amendment gives you the freedom of speech and freedom of expression. If you want to express yourself as a female, even though you're male, more power to it. But you can't require straight people to date you and call them homophobic or transphobic because they don't want to date somebody with a penis. And even if you get the surgery down there, which I don't, there's even a lot of trans people that are saying don't do that because it's not a safe surgery. Sometimes they can easily cut the pathways for the anus, and you could end up pooping out the front and the back. Think about that. A lot of risks at taking that surgery. And does it make you a woman? If it makes you feel like one, I guess go ahead. It doesn't make you one in my mind, and that doesn't make me bad for thinking that. It doesn't make me bad because I choose to believe in science. There are many religions that do not condone that kind of stuff. They have a right to not condone that because we have freedom of religion in this country. You can't force churches, though they try, to accept their morality over the morality of the Bible. The Bible's pretty clear on that, and I'm not going to go into that because I'm not going to have a religious discussion here. I don't choose to believe what I believe based solely on biblical principles, but on scientific principles. Science says that there are two genders. Fantasy says there are multiple genders. You want to live in fantasy? That's your right. But don't tell me I have to live in your fantasy. I don't have to go along with your fantasy no more than you have to go along with my science. And that's just the way it is. People shouldn't be forced to comply. That's not a right. You have a right to other people to comply with your beliefs. You know, people on the left, especially people in all categories, have accused religions of doing that. And they do it in some countries where the religion forces their moral beliefs on others. And now you have the transgender community trying to force their belief system on the public. That you're bad if you do not accept their beliefs. Sounds a lot like a religion. So is there a trans cult? And I don't think all trans are on board with that. There are trans people out there that aren't on board with this, forcing people to identify them and validate them. If you need to be validated, you have a problem, not the public. That's just the way it is. Now, as far as the bathrooms go, I don't have a daughter. If I did, I would be very uncomfortable with someone having their penis hanging out in a place where my daughter has to go. Even my wife, for that matter. If you have a penis, I think you should use the men's bathroom. If you have a vagina, you did the bottom surgery, use the women's bathroom. Does it make you any less of who you are or what bathroom you use? I don't think so. I used to clean bathroom. I was a custodian for 10 years at the University of Colorado State University. I was a custodian there for over 10 years. And men's bathrooms are much messier than women's bathrooms. I could clean a woman's bathroom in no time at all. I go in a men's bathroom, I got to scrub because they pee on the floor. Not intentionally. Sometimes they're drunk and they miss the urinal. Sometimes they don't stand close enough to the urinal. They think they're hung like a racehorse when they really have a baby carrot. But, whatever the case. The older you get, the more you drip after you pee. So, you're going to have urine splatters on the floor in the women's bathrooms if people with penises start using the women's bathroom. That's just the way it is. And there's not urinals in the women's bathroom. A urinal is a better place for a guy to urinate. Women can urinate sitting down. Some guys, I suppose they could. And if that's the way they're going to do it, and they're going to shut the door, I guess, there are probably some transgender people that have a lot of class. But there's also going to be the transgender people that don't have any class. The people just going to whip it out. It's their right to use the women's bathroom because they identify as a woman. I don't think so. And to force it on kids, and that's what the transgender community is doing too. I think they're grooming kids because they feel more validated by doing that. I don't know what the deal is, but I heard this from some people in the gay community. They felt that the trans community is trying to groom kids. Something that the gay community has been accused of for years and years. And they've been trying to distance themselves from those accusations, and they don't involve kids in their activities. Why do the trans people find it so important to involve kids in their activities? I do not know. But this is causing a lot of division amongst LGBT, BDQ, whatever letters they've added to it. They keep adding more letters to it. It makes it harder and harder to say. So, I mean, a lot of the gay, lesbians, and bisexuals are trying to distance themselves from the trans community. And, with any group, the ones that are the most radical are the ones you're going to hear from. So it's probably not how the entire trans community feels. It's just that the activists usually are a little bit mentally, have some mental issues. I don't care what active group that is. It could be a far right, far left, animal rights activists. Usually the ones that are most outspoken are the ones that have the most screws loose. How's that? So, my opinion is if you want to live your life as a woman and wear a dress and even get surgery if that's what you want, and get hormones and grow breasts, and if that makes you happy, go ahead, because the United States is about the pursuit of happiness. But don't force your lifestyle on me. I don't really care. I will try to give you the right gender pronoun if I can. I mean, some of these trans women are so passable. I mean, there's some of them out there you wouldn't know the difference, unless you saw them naked. That's fine. Trans women talk about wanting to date straight men. Well, I don't know. If they're straight, they're not going to want somebody with a penis for sure. And they may not want someone with a mutilated whole sac in their pouch in their body that they want to call a vagina. And that doesn't make them transphobic. That just makes heterosexual. Part of being heterosexual is to desire intimacy with the opposite sex, not intimacy with the same sex, no matter what kind of dress they wear, no matter how passable they are. It just, there is a group called tranny chasers. Those are men who are attracted to trans females. Okay? And those are the men they need to try to get. They need more categories for these tranny chasers. Maybe they need a rainbow flag with their own special color on it, and they can be part of that community. There probably already are several of them already involved in that community, men who are attracted to trans people. So why go after what you can't have? The reason, because they want they want to feel like they're a full woman by having straight men being attracted to them.